We're only a month away from the release of James Gunn's Superman in theaters, and with tickets set to go on sale within the next few days, and Warner Brothers rolling out their massive $200 million marketing campaign, a lot of people are starting to realize exactly what this movie is going to need to break even. And with a budget that they told everyone was $225 million, as people start to fact check this and realize they already admitted it was over $360 million without marketing included, this is a movie that bare minimum needs to make somewhere between $800 million, maybe up to $1 billion just to break even. So you'd think that they would want to take advantage of every single possible thing that they could to get longtime fans invested in the success of Superman and want to go out there to watch this movie. Well, just like we saw with DC Comics, what they did to Superman, truth, justice, the American way. They wanted to distance themselves from that because, Superman, it's really about the world, and attaching America to that's probably not good. I don't know, it seemed to work pretty well for the character for decades and decades and decades, but now we want to step away from that. Apparently, James Gunn feels the exact same way. James Gunn officially removes the America from Superman movie slogan. DC Studios is making big changes to one of its most iconic characters ever. And yes, Superman is an American superhero. That's who he is. I don't care if you hate America and don't like that, or if you think that, well, if we remove the word America from Superman, even though everyone's going to identify him as that anyway, maybe we'll sell a few more tickets in China, or whatever your fucking reasoning is. This is stupid. It was stupid when they shied away from it in the comics, when they said truth, justice, and a better tomorrow. It's just as stupid when you see what James Gunn decided to replace the American way with. New Superman ditches patriotism for politics under James Gunn. No American way. The phrase truth, justice, and the American way was first popularized in the 1940s in the Adventures of Superman radio show. It became iconic with the 1950s Superman TV series. It's long been associated with the Man of Steel, but obviously not anymore. Now, this is starting to appear on different Superman merchandise, little sum-ups of Clark Kent as a character. And I want to read this to you. Superman must reconcile his alien Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing as reporter Clark Kent. As the embodiment of truth, justice, and the human way, he soon finds himself in a world that views these as old-fashioned. Now, I find the way that it's phrased very interesting, and honestly, when the news started to come out about that this is the new logo, this is the new motto, this is the new synopsis for this going forward that's included on the merchandise, I was a little surprised. Not that, it's surprising that they would do this. They've done it to Superman before, modern day Hollywood, all this stuff. But I was surprised specifically because of what we heard about this movie when they told us about it in the first place. Back when it was still called Superman Legacy. I don't know if you guys remember that. I mean, this is an article from 2 years ago. This is when James Gunn, it's still called Superman Legacy, and they were talking about, hey, it's still set for 2025 release date. When they announced the movie, they talked about Clark Kent and truth, justice, and the American way. And this was the old synopsis. Remember what we just read. This is very close to the new synopsis for him as a character. Superman Legacy tells the story of Superman's journey to reconcile his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing as Clark Kent of Smallville, Kansas. He's the embodiment of truth, justice, and the American way, guided by human kindness in a world that sees kindness as old-fashioned. That's what it was a few years ago. Obviously, the new one, it's very similar to what it was before, removed American way and replaced some of the human kindness stuff with just the human way and how that's old-fashioned now. So clearly, at one point in time, they intended to put American way in, and somewhere along the line, they decided, you know what, maybe we should pull back on that. Maybe that's not okay. We'll tweak this a little bit. We'll reword this a little bit. If you don't want to say America, if you don't want to say the American way, there are ways to word this where it's not such a standout that you clearly didn't want to say America. Right? You could just say, as the embodiment of truth and justice, he soon finds himself in a world that views these as old-fashioned. If you wanted to just slip it in there, not put America on there, and maybe it wouldn't seem like such a big deal, you could do that, and it would slip by a lot of people. But no, you replace it with the human way. What exactly does that fucking mean? Now, certainly, when you think of truth, justice, and the American way, that's not saying that every single American is a great person and a blah, blah. Obviously, there's pieces of shit everywhere. There's pieces of shit all over the place. But we're talking about the American way, the tried and true way. This idealistic virtue of something to look up to and something to uphold and something to strive for. That's what we're talking about. And that's something that's been respected here in this country and also a lot of other places around the world for decades and decades and decades. But you don't respect that. You don't respect America. You don't like America. You don't want to attach America to this character anymore. We just saw this happen with Captain America: Brave New World. Spoiler alert, when Anthony Mackie went out of his way to say that he didn't really consider Captain America like an American thing, blah, 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 in order to try to appeal to everybody all around the world, didn't work out very well, did it? It's almost like you should be embracing what people have loved about this character for years, why this character has continued to exist for like a fucking century. They did this bullshit in the comics with Truth, Justice, and a Better Tomorrow, and it didn't work out. People didn't like it. People didn't respect it. It fell off. And now you're making the same mistakes. And it's a very unforced error to go ahead and put that on all this different merchandising that's out there. You should lean in to the things that make Superman, Superman, including that slogan, including his American upbringing, including him being an American superhero. You absolutely should. You should be waving the stars and stripes behind Superman. You should look for shots like that. You should want Superman to be patriotic, right? And you can do all of those things. You don't have to agree with, well, who the president is and this specific policy or whatever, whenever. Like, it doesn't have to be that way. It can just be, you know what? I love this country. I love America. I want to stand up for what's right. Truth, justice, and the American way. And people would love that. But no, you think that the American way is a bad thing. You don't want to attach that to this character because you think that'll give you bigger pull around the world. Hasn't worked out when we've seen it done in the comic books. Hasn't worked out when we've seen it done with other American superheroes like Captain fucking America in Brave New World. And I think it's a stupid thing to do here. We're going to see what this is going to do at the box office within a month or so. But no doubt, removing this, specifically going out of your way, replacing the American way with the human way, which I have no idea what the fuck that means, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. And I don't think they do either. They just don't want to say the American way. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.